What's up guys, it's Stuck on Pandora here with ranked previews. If you go into my stream highlights, you'll see that I have a few of these matches lined up with the ranked previews because I think that ranked is a thing that really needs to happen in Battleborn. I know that the community is organizing these tournaments and trying to do it themselves, but I don't think that's fair. I think Gearbox and 2K need to step it up, organize these tournaments themselves on an online basis, or at the very least put in ranked. And the second aspect to this is that many of us have been at level 100 for a while now and need a way to continue improving. Now, why this match, why I'm uploading this match for the ranked previews is because this was a 5-man party versus a 5-man party. Both teams were pre-made, ready to rock and roll. I said, alright everybody, put on your mains and let's do this thing. And that's exactly what we did. Incursion. Now, I'm going to go ahead and get this out of the way. I don't like damage Miko in the least. I think Miko's purpose is to play a support, and if you want to play a damage character, play a damage character. Put on Oriander, put on Atticus, put on Thorn, put on Deondi, put on anybody who is able to deal DPS, because you're just making an average character at that point. It's not Miko's purpose. When I play Miko, and I feel like I play a good Miko, I play support. In this match, you're going to see ebb and flow. Alright? You're going to see that we go ahead and we play defense when we feel that the rhythm is there and that defense needs to be played. Though it lacks aggressiveness, and it may not, you may not see it on any exciting multi-kill highlight reels, it was a smart match. In fact, Reginald here gets my MVP vote because he was the lowest ranked on our team, and while his skill level is there, he doesn't have the instincts yet of the MOBA, say as Woltz does. Woltz is a League of Legends player, has played a lot of League, and understands the rhythm of a MOBA and the depth and the longer time to kill. So Reginald gets MVP here because his focus was on constantly getting thralls and constantly getting MX elite bots and not letting himself die. And also, as Thorn, he made it his strong purpose to get waves for us and get himself some levels and keep waves off of us. Now, if you could hear it, the talk was constant. He was absolutely constant with this match. I was telling people, yell at me if you need a heal, and I was going to get you, and I was only applying. Whenever I had the Spore Ball, I would throw that in. If I was able to get behind somebody, I would get behind somebody. But other than that, my purpose was to heal. And my teammates understood that well, and I'm kind of sick of hearing in a match with Randy's, "Why don't you heal, Miko? What's your problem, Miko? Come on, Miko, you suck, Miko." And they blame Miko for all their deaths. Help Miko, help you. I play back. Many Miko plays back, and you sort of form a support structure there. There I'm body blocking Kelvin for the team. So I mostly follow Vengagun around, who plays Galilei, and he had a slow start here. He picks up and he ends up having what is an insane match for him, especially at this level of play. But he started out, and this is why this is an argument for ranked, kind of being head sure and a little headstrong, because normally we can get away with that with the whole Miko combo. But this team knew exactly what they were doing, and when you go up against a team that knows what they're doing, this is true in any game, but especially Battleborn, you can't 2v1, you can't 3v2 even, and you especially can't 3v1. He tries it. We get to that a little later in the match, but my primary purpose here was healing. You'll see that Reg is staying back, clearing ads every time he has his blight. Woltz is getting his crystals. Woltz was already pretty much ready and was playing highly conservative, and him and I were talking on when we felt like we needed to push ourselves back and do sort of a strategic retreat, and also when it felt like the offense was in our favor. You'll see Caldarius gets himself in there, and that was a really smart move by our Shadow, our Caldarius. He's mastered Caldarius, and he was being very mindful of his health. You have a choice in this game, and you can either run an assassin in your squad, in your team comp, or you can run a tank. It tends to be the way it goes. You at least want 2 DPS players for sure. And we made that very conscious decision to have Shadow be our assassin. He's, anytime you play an assassin, you need to be mobile, and that's really the goal. You may not get a lot of kills, but you're going to get crucial picks. So you see Vengagun got a pick with the help of Shadow. And those picks are what sets up when we felt like the flow is in our favor to go on the offense. But if it was strictly 5v5, the goal was almost always to control mid, and mid in Overgrowth is a strategic must. If you get pushed back towards your sentry, when you're playing defense on the sentry, your sentry's exposed, and they're in a position to start working on you and getting those kills on you. You are continuing that support role. You'll see that Shadow and Minigun were holding the hallway, again mid being crucial. They didn't want them to form a collapse towards you. Now we lost Woltz. Woltz is our second DPS player. That's a typical team comp for us. You see Reg there is clearing the lane and helping prevent those thralls come up with their fat fleshy cells and be a nice body block on our sentry. Alright, team produces a good push here, and this goes into, I'll mention this probably many times, the thralls and the MX Elite bots being crucial. And this is why I don't like Damage Miko. What can Damage Miko do here? There's way too much stuff going on. The most I can do is try to apply heals to players who actually have the skill sets to clear this stuff out. So Thorn with her Blight, Minigun with it, the Galilei with that DPS. I can apply stuns when necessary. Missed that one, but at least we back off Ori. Orendi, Shadow, very hard to do the same thing with Shadow that I'm able to do with Minigun, because Caldarius simply lacks that health pool. You can see he was stunned there, he was trying to get out. You'll see throughout this match though that Shadow's making very smart plays in that he I say that he's really good at the mobility of Caldarius because he's constantly leaving his back open. That was a much better stun. Now this Miko has made a mistake. This is classic Damage Miko. He's come up, he got pushed, he doesn't stick with his buddies. You'll see throughout the match that I stick with my buddies, which is Miko's purpose, is to keep people on the front line, and that means you have to be on the front line. That beam doesn't have that much distance. What happens there is we got that Miko and we got that Alani, and this was kind of when we knew this match could go in our favor if we played smart. Their Alani ended up being probably their best player, and this is pre-nerf Alani. She was the one keeping the Kelvin up and alive, but that if you're going to play Miko and you're really going to be dedicated to that role, you need to stick with your team and believe that the biosynthesis or your heals are going to get you through. Even if you die, you hope that the team gets a couple picks out of it. In that case, that Miko abandoned the heal beam and decided then to apply damage, which is not something Miko can specialize in. You can gear it, sure, but that's it, and paid a price. And so we were able to finally start touching on their sentry. I'm out. Minigun was shot by the sentry there. Not much we could do. You'll see Reginald, MVP there. Seriously MVP. Getting thralls and prepping another push for us. He constantly got the back thralls, mid thralls, and MX Elite bots, which was allowing us to do those pushes. Now you see here, we don't go and grab mid, and we don't keep up a headstrong push on the sentry. What we decided to do, was we talked as a team, we said, hey, we need to back up, and we did back up. We push what characters we could, but the main thing is that we have 3 people up, and we don't want that to get any lower. Even though they have 1 person down, at this point, we want to have bodies on the front line. It's better to start that defensive push when you have 2 or 3 people up and not 1 person up. Say, oh man, we need to retreat and get ready. The ebb of the battle there was in their favor, so we decided to back up and play it on our sentry. Playing that defensive role, though it lacks action and seems to lack progress, you got to remember the matches are long. We're getting levels, and we're delaying their progress on the sentry. You'll see Kelvin got too headstrong on it. Kelvin paid with his life. They did the opposite of us, and that's that they got headstrong on the sentry, and we did not. And so look what happens. Not even a moment later, we're now back on their sentry. We had a retreat. We were able to rebuild our forces. And we're right back. While they made a headstrong push, and it cost them some Battleborn. And losing Battleborn is a true loss of strength, and for longer and longer respawn timers. It gets worse throughout the match. So when you lose people, you're really hurting yourself. You also notice something else, and that is, because our talk is constant, we know each other's positions on the battlefield. I really did not stop talking for this entire match and saying, hey, if you need health, talk to me. And Reg was talking to me, and Shadow, and Woltz, and Tyrell, and everybody was talking. And if they needed even a little bit of health, I was splitting off, getting him that beam. And that's Miko at higher play. and that's someone who's not focused on, hey, I'm gonna see if I can up my KO. Nobody here, not just Miko, was focused on KO. Now here's where Minigun makes a headstrong move. Usually in matches where we're kind of like pub stomping around or whatever, that's something he can get away with. But this was a smart team who played well, was aggressive, confident, and yeah, he got pretty well owned because I let him know, and I get owned plenty of times, but and this does lead to him having an amazing match, by the way, but I let him know that I was going to heal Reginald, and Minigun said, oh, hell with this, and was going to go get those kills, I guess. And he paid a price, but almost instantly he realized what we were up against, and we end up playing a very intelligent match here, and he takes off. You're going to see at the end of the match, Woltz, with the veteran mobile player, was playing very much so back in the lane, and then Tyrell started doing that. Minigun started doing that. We were playing Possum, and we kept baiting him into our weaker sentry. Like, there we go, that was a bait. We're playing back. Kelvin keeps being way too aggressive, and we're going to cut him off over and over and over again. And something we also kept maintaining was that we weren't charging on weak targets. Even though the pick could happen, potentially, it was going to separate the team too much. And Battleborn is more objective based than KO based. Yeah, the KOs are really fun and they make for great highlights. It's the ebb and the flow and the patience and the intelligence of strategy that it's eventually going to get you the big W, though. And so here we go. Woltz and I decided that it was better to play defensively. Shadow is being much more mindful of his health bar as Caldarius, poking, getting damage in when he can, but when he can't, being smart and backing himself out so he's not in a terrible position. We had to back them off, but all of them are now in the hallway, and one of them is going to get headstrong. And when they get headstrong, then we get a pick, and then we use the pick to push the enemy team sentry again. Here we go. We've gotten our first pick, which was, of course, Kelvin. Kelvin was systematically headstrong and wanting to get KOs for this match, and his Miko was abandoning him. Alani kept backing up with that wave. This is pre-nerf Alani again, so that wave was really powerful. You'll see some chaos on screen, but look, as a unit, as a three-man squad, Miko has the back. He's getting look at how Woltz pushed back. Woltz knew his health was low. He came back because everyone on the team was well aware that I'm going to be there with the heals. And Caldarius, Oriander, and Galilei, all high DPS potential characters, were moving in and out, covering one another. And that's ranked play, what it could be, because the game is very deep. And there you go. There was the push. We got 2 picks. They came in. They were a little too self-sure. When we pushed them, they more or less collapsed. I'm assuming the communication wasn't there, or somebody didn't stand their ground who really needed to, and we went on an assault at this point. And notice we're still sticking together. All of us are sticking together. Now in this case, Reginald, talking about the instincts of battle, he got himself way too deep looking for a KO. That's something you'll see on both sides of the line. Something you learn in this game. Because the time to kill is so high in Battleborn, if someone makes a retreat, you let them have the retreat, because the game is designed in such a way that the retreat is it's an element of the game. It's simply just an aspect of it. You need to come to understand that out is probably meant for them to have, and if you go and you chase them on that out, you're going to pay a price for it. And Minigun made that mistake once. He doesn't make it again. Reginald made that mistake once here. He doesn't make it again. In fact, this is when he really starts focusing in on thralls and bots. You'll see that Shadow was very weak on his health, but he doesn't start making pushes. In fact, he backs all the way out. He is there you go. He finds me. And that's what we're talking about with ranked plays. Everyone has a role. Everyone understands each other's roles, respects the role, and then trusts one another to fulfill that job. And I'm fulfilling the role of support, which is what Miko does. He's support. And Shadow is an assassin, and that's what Caldarius does. I'm not going to be coming to Caldarius and saying, hey man, back me up, I'm charging in, I'm damaged Miko. No, I'm going to say, if you get weak, because you can apply much more consistent damage than what I ever could, you come to me, and I'm going to try to keep you on the front line of this battle. And this front line of this battle, because we're playing that way, went from where we were losing, because we were playing a little overconfident, to let's stick as a team, let's communicate, and now we're pushing right back. You'll see we also don't charge outside of this room. Now here Kelvin's going to make another mistake. Kelvin's going to come in here and think, alright, I can take a 3v2. And because everyone's full health now, I get to apply some damage as well and apply some dots. And what those dots do is stop the recovery. Kelvin went and used his stun as an initiation, not the best move. And then he was in deep, and we focus fire as a team. No one in Battleborn can beat teamwork. It's why I think rank needs to happen. It's why I'm excited if it does. I'm excited for these tournaments that are coming up. When you use teamwork, you will get outs. And in that case, I don't know who got the KO, but it didn't matter. It was a team KO. And that's how things work in higher competition of Battleborn, is if you actually want to get a kill in something like this, you had better work as a team, or you're in big doo-doo. As in, that person's going to get out again and again and again, and that's what leads to these stalemates. Is that you're lacking the single DPS to get outs, especially on Alani even these days. But when you work as a team, that's when you're getting picks on even the strongest of Battleborn. Kelvin's gotten himself deep again. I've got the level 5 stun at this point, so this is a matter of patience. I never looked for KOs, and I'm not going to get one here either because he's going to get out and I'm not going to chase him. It's just not going to be worth it for me. But I consistently stayed alive, and you'll see that with any Battleborn, not just Miko. Any Battleborn, any player who just consistently stays alive, kind of has their head on the objective, their head in the game, they're going to be given moments where they can get picks. Now, okay, here's another case of their Miko not running his role. We're out some players. We're out Shadow. We're about to be out Minigun. What Miko could do there is heal Kelvin and kill us quicker, which is what needs to happen in a situation like that. The quicker they kill us, the quicker they can make their offensive push. But instead, they split up. They split their fire. The Miko's on me, the Kelvin's on Oriander, and really they would have lost there if it wasn't for the Melka coming up in. And regardless, it took them more time than what it should have, and now our team has rebuilt itself. Our team has gotten the respawn in. They're still needing to charge all the way back from their first sentry, their spawn, and Reginald, and the whole team here actually. Oriander, you see there with Woltz. And again, Reg clearing ads, doing a very nice job there. Our MVP really not in the glory role, but fulfilling those small accessory roles that make a big difference. They've gone and they've held mid, which is the strategic must of Overgrowth. They're again doing the little things. Reginald's grabbing our little thrall back by the base. Meanwhile, the team is working together to grab mid thralls. It's something their team wasn't doing. And they had been running as a 5-man. I'm sure they were used to getting consistent victories. Something you have to do with Melka is get CC on her, or she's so out. There we had 2 CCs and everybody again focus fire as a team on the kill. You look, Shadow comes back in. Okay, impressive stuff. In many a match, you'll see that your teammates buzz off, but you're always going to be better served sticking together and forming a cohesive firing line on teams. What do we do here? We focus to Miko first. We focused at Miko. That happens every time, and then we worked as a team on the Alani. Now look, we have Melk out, we have Miko out, we have Alani out, because we stuck as a team, we worked as a team. We got thralls in every capacity. We're talking constantly. These aren't glory roles. I'm not getting a lot of points. Shadow probably isn't either. Probably no one but our Galilei, and that's okay because Vingagun plays a great Galilei, and we let him do that. We want him to do that. That's teamwork. That's why this ranked play is going to probably also be a great learning block for many a person who's never played MOBAs before to understand how much depth is actually here. Getting rid of buildables, getting rid of support structures, building thralls, building MX elite bots, all this stuff is going to come into play. For the first time in the game, I think the Miko decided he was going to try to save Kelvin. And look at the difference it makes. We get pushed back immediately. That Kelvin was getting, basically walloped this whole game. And one time the Miko comes in and actually applies a heal, and look what happens. They got 4 guys out. The Alani gets a clutch heal on Kelvin. The Oriander comes in with the damage, and Miko fulfills his role as healer. And there you go. That's how these things happen. We had 4 guys out, and that shows you it's a competitive match right now. It's 66-50. Caldarius is our only guy on. Watch this. Shadow's gonna do really smart gameplay here. He gets stunned. He's getting high damage against him. He uses his ultimate, alright, to back the Kelvin off, because he knows that the Kelvin is now getting fairly low health, but he's getting low health too. Now instead of sticking it out and trying to get this kill, he's going to be much smarter. He knows that we're down spawns, so he's just being aggressive enough to back them off, understanding that he's low health but still keeping the fight up and giving himself an out. His back was through the lane. He could get out if he needed to. He was just there to apply damage, keep them off our main sentry. See Red's there getting a thrall. He asked for some help to get it quicker. I immediately back him up. Again, he's doing an A+ game. He's not worried about his KD in the least. He's worried about getting us some flesh up there. We got Melka to annoy us. Here they make a mistake. You saw before when they were cohesive that we suffered and we lost big. There they are no longer cohesive. The Melka makes an assault, but for whatever reason backs with full health off the assault. Yet the Kelvin decides to go in for the assault. Now if he had the backup of Melka in this situation, this is a whole different fight. If the Miko comes up and grabs his Kelvin, it's a whole different fight. But that's not what happens. The Melka backs out, the Miko comes in and tries to apply damage, and Kelvin goes in by himself. Kelvin's killed, the rest of the team backs out. They built this accelerator. I'm not totally sure why. It was an easy kill for us. Seems like a waste of gems. But again, it's the element of one team has decided to stick together. One team knows that their Miko is going to heal them. They know that their one player is getting thralls. They know Reginald's getting thralls and MX Elite bots, and they know for a fact that Minigun is going to start playing in a completely badass Galley, and he does. This was again a highly competitive match. I think it's what you'll see out of ranked a lot whenever it gets instituted, and I hope it does get instituted. He sticks with me now 100%. He understands that when this team wants to work together, they'll work together and they'll be really dangerous. At this point, him and I don't leave each other's side. You'll see that we start baiting people. We decide that now is a good time for defense. Let them be aggressive, because we know that Kelvin is probably going to come up here and do this again. He keeps doing this. And that's okay. Body block him with the mushroom. You can use the mushroom like a body. Their Alani Smart completely destroys the mushroom. That's okay. Either way, back the Kelvin out. So we were on defense, and this is where that defensive role, where that decision making ends up being the right move. Both Woltz and I had agreed that it was time to defense. We knew that they would make a push, and we wanted to kind of play coy, and we do. And now look what happens. Minigun hasn't left my side. Woltz hasn't left our side. They're getting in deeper and deeper because they think that we're basically on our heels and weak and out and done for. And so they make some really headstrong decisions. Not minding their health bar, not minding their position, not minding their teammates. I like this play by Minigun quite a lot. We played around the corner. They didn't think anyone was near. I'm out there sort of baiting around where they think it's just Miko. Out of nowhere, that was great speed displayed. You can say what you want about Galilee. That's a great Galilee play. That Orendi, thought that it was game over, set match. He just has to kill the Miko. Meanwhile, as soon as I got that mushroom in, Minigun came out, man, like a bat out of hell and charged that Orendi and just messed him up. Quick kill, very quick kill. And it was what we needed there. We needed some picks. So now we know that they are whopper jawed. As far as their spawns are concerned, they got both Miko and Orendi out. Before that, we'd killed the Melka. The Kelvin's weak, so their spawns are offset. Just little things like that, even if not everyone is. Now we got a team wipe. That's working together. You saw all four people right there were together, working together, and picking off one person at a time. That's where you're going to get your big damage in battle. That was a mushroom that slowed. You always got to get that CC on Melka with that speed that she has. Working as a team and saying, hey, all right, get the Kelvin. Hey, get that Miko. Get that Miko. The Miko's out. Get that Alani. Quick. Orendi, I mean. And that's what we did as a team. Nobody really wanted the kill. It was just an idea of let's get fire. And it's like those guys who hit home runs in big World Series games. They say, well, I just wanted to get a single. I just wanted to get a hit. And that's exactly what occurred there. We all just wanted to get damage in on who we knew was dangerous at the time. Meanwhile, they were discombobulated. They got one person on cooldown, they got one person just now spawning, and they got Kelvin, as usual, being more than a little headstrong. Now, this is more cautious. Oh, that Kelvin. That Kelvin did it again. He kept coming from the rear. He's got a big body, easy to body block in the doorway. And his Miko isn't giving him support. They keep coming up from the back, but we're so prepared for it. What we want right here is we were getting less than conservative because we really wanted to start getting damage in and ensuring that victory. Because they had, you see that they managed to get some damage in on their last big push. Ebb and flow, it was back and forth. This team wasn't just making mistakes, it was a skilled team. Okay, now I could be playing damage Miko right now, right? I could be going, oh man, I really want to get that kill, or I could have chased that guy down, or I kind of want to go left and kill some ads right now. Or I could keep Wolt, who's a very good player out on the field with much higher DPS potential than myself. And he doesn't have the healing potential that I have. Miko can keep your team alive. And I have a negative KD as Miko. There's a purpose for that. I'll body block, I'll heal, I'll die if I need to die. The important thing is the team. Minigun here, another great Galley play, maybe a little headstrong. But what it showed was guts. The shield was down. We knew we needed to get damage in, and Minigun says hell with it. He was ready to die. That was not a kill move. Again, this is an element of teamwork. The sentry and the objective is much more important than my KD. That was a move where he figured he could die. Now, what does he do that when he's weak, he gets out? He doesn't want to purposely die. It wasn't a suicide mission. You know, that's what they talk about like in the American military. No man left behind, right? It's like, yeah, I went in there and I did my job, but there's no reason I should have to die at the same time, and I totally agree with him. So I'm both going to give him and Shadow those heals. Kelvin makes another mistake, really getting in too deep over and over again, and his Miko is nowhere to be seen. Look how we stick. Okay, so here's the difference. I'm hurt, he's hurt. In fact, I was absolute. Now, when that happened to their Miko, when that happened to their team, they got flustered, they escaped. Instead, what I do is I completely stick with Minigun this whole entire thing through. We got traps going on us. We're getting punched. We're getting poisoned. We're getting hit. Of course, we're going to retreat and get out of dodge, especially because we lost some people. But beyond that, I'm going to stick with him. If I die, I die, but at least we can keep damage on the field with Galilei. We get a stun there on Melka. I know Minigun was trying to get up there, but he gets caught on some debris. You see that Shadow is using his ultimate. The Caldarius ultimate is excellent because it serves to sort of disorient the enemy because it's massive damage all at once. And it kind of, oh man, where did that come from? What just happened? And it's vertical. A lot of people don't look vertical in this game, but Caldarius is one of those players who really can get vertical. He's using that when it looks like we're down and out as sort of a display of force and a display of power to make it seem as if there's actually more firepower on the line than what there actually is, some illusion. Now here I want to give props to Shadow and Wolt. They don't go and grab the main field. They grab our thralls, they grab our meager little single thrall, and they do that as a team. They, totally were in each other's head. I don't know if they talked about it or not. And then it's so important to go about the mid thralls as a team, and they do that. They do just that. So now we have 3 thralls. Reginald's going to spawn. The MX Elite Bot is on a timer, but when he spawns, he's going to grab the MX Elite Bot. And I'm going to hurry up and get to these 2 guys because we're now getting down to the wire. You see Reg had volunteered that MX Elite Bot. You can see it's up. I want to hurry up and get my heals in. I want to hurry up and back up the main team. Reg has already said, hey, I'm going to get it for us. And that's going to put 4 people down. You can see the thralls are already causing their damage. No Miko on the Kelvin. Again, he's dead. Now Arendi's dead. I'm sure that was probably Woltz with his ultimate. He's leveled now. He's got his gear. He starts playing an excellent Arendi. Now the whole team's up. They are in serious trouble. Alani tried to play solo. We got 2 CCs on her. She's out. Arendi's out. Kelvin's out. Their Miko is going damage Miko. My very much so loathed damage Miko. He's going to pay a price. I'm going to go ahead and show him what Miko's all about. We'll see you later. I make a mistake there. I go damage Miko. And Woltz, who's a very good player, dies because of it. So that's the problem with damage Miko. If I don't try to put damage in there, Miko's still going to die because players are hitting him hard and Woltz gets to stay alive. So that was a mistake on my part, not focusing my beam correctly. and being kind of self-centered. So here we go, though. This is where the team, the chemistry, the communication, and conservative play pays off. At this point, it's our game to lose. Alright, now Arendi really sold what he wanted to do, and in higher level Battleborn play, people understand the game well, they understand the instincts of the game, they understand the flow of the game. Arendi's going to try to get an elite bot out so that they can try to do some sort of sneaky stuff and get some bots and some thralls on our sentry and cause some damage. That's when you see like your sentry's gone from 100 to like 98 or something, and big damage has been done. And you're like, well, what happened? Well, they probably built a lot of bots under your nose. He advertised exactly what he wanted to do. So we get the stun on him. He dies because my DPS buddies are going to back me up, and we quickly kill the elite bot. So he's wasted 600. He's wasted 50 seconds of his life, when the team would be much better organized at this time if they came as a unit and they went 5v5 and got our backs in that sentry room. About the only way before they changed the map architecture to do that. Really respect this play by Vangagun and the team. The team is applying DPS up on the ridge. Vangagun says, let's finish this damn thing, and I go in, back him up, don't apply damage, just a heal beam, and make sure that we get that out. So we win overall. Very fun match, 5v5, both teams in parties, both teams communicating a lot. I really believe Battleborn needs a ranked. People need to, I think they would not crap on us Battleborn fans so much if they understood just how much depth and complexity is here. Hey, it's been a lot of fun, guys. Thanks for watching.